getting into kind of going back a little bit through your career, I saw, did you run those Weekend of Champions conventions, or what role did you play in those? Okay.
Those were my concept, as a fan years ago, and then covering the business. I always felt that the fans really never had the opportunity to get up close and personal with wrestlers. I was a fan of baseball card shows, and I used to go to those quite often to collect some baseball memorabilia, to get some autographs. And I was like, boy, wrestling doesn't have anything like this. It would be really neat if somebody did it. And I was like, well, why not me? So in 1990, I started the concept of the first real, I would have to say, memorabilia autograph show, getting guys close to the wrestlers. That first convention, I had booked Sting, who had just won the NWA title from Ric Flair. Terry Funk was at that first one, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Bruno Sammartino, Cactus Jack. So there was, that started it. And I ran those conventions from 1990, and the last one I did was in consecutive years of thousands of people attending Weekend of Champions and meeting, some of the biggest names in the history of the business, from Ric Flair, who did his first autograph show in 1991, to the original Sheik, who did his only autograph appearance in 1993, and just a who's who of who was in wrestling at the time. I was able to bring the fans close to these performers.
That's awesome. So you were like Access before it was Access.
Yes. Yeah. They Access started just when I was kind of getting out. They thought, you could tell people copy some ideas. And of course, the resources that WWE has are enormous. And they started an absolutely amazing concept. WCW also, on a smaller scale, did some of those, and now here you are all these years later, and there are literally wrestling fan conventions almost every weekend somewhere in the country.
Yeah, I would have loved to go to yours, because I do prefer to see multiple different people, which is why I frequent WrestleCon when I go to WrestleMania for that reason alone. I just feel they're a lot more personable. Access is fun, but here's your autograph, nice to see you, bye.
There you go. I mean, and the WrestleCons are tremendous. And I mean, look how they've grown. I'm amazed when I go to an event like a WrestleCon, which I went to a couple of years ago before the pandemic. And it just blew me away on how large these things are and what promoters have done to enhance the experience of the wrestling fan. So yeah, I love seeing that there's so many of these around today.
Yeah, I mean, it just adds to entire weekend. I can't go to WrestleMania now without going to WrestleCon. That's just the thing.
Exactly.
So thank you, I guess. I'm going to say it was you.
Well, it was, I never thought, that the concept would take off the way it did. Well, maybe I did. I mean, but it's just really something that I think to this day is just something really unique that wrestling has over even other sports.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to UFC events, and I don't see them at UFC.
Right.
So that would be nice too.
Yeah, and we're hoping to go to maybe All Out this next year, and hoping that maybe like Conrad Thompson brings back StarCast again.
I believe he's going to do that Labor Day of 2022.
Excellent.
Wow. Yeah, so we'll have to look into that, because I'm not being in Ohio, West Ohio. I'm not far from Chicago, so that's an easy drive.
And I have had discussions about doing another convention, 30-year anniversary of Weekend of Champions, and that would be in the summer of 2022. So if everything falls into place the way I hope, we'll have a huge 4-day convention in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. That's a great location there too, because it's not just you'd be going there for that. It's like, a nice tourist destination for a ton of stuff.
Oh, there's so much to do, and for me, I really want a venue or a couple of venues that we can do not just the autographs and the vendor tables and the shoot interviews, and I want to hold a banquet which would really honor a lot of the individuals that were associated with my conventions 30 years ago and individuals that were associated with the radio show. So for me, it's kind of like a one-time only thing. If I'm able to put it together to do one big blowout over 4 days and have live matches as well with an international flavor from performers from Mexico and Japan and some of the top indie guys today and some legends.
That'd be great. Yeah, because there's not, like you said, there's not a lot out there like that today. I mean, there's the WrestleCons and such, but they're, especially since the pandemic hit, they're more few and far between. So now that things are starting to open back up, hopefully more of them pop back up too. So
yeah, that's the biggest question mark for me is, what is it going to be like next year regarding the pandemic? Because if you invest, all the money it would take to put something like this on and then, a lockdown or whatever happens, it really is a very big roll of the dice.
Right.
Yeah. I remember WrestleCon. I was going to Tampa for WrestleMania last year, and I got the email from WrestleCon. They canceled, and it took them and it was okay. I totally understand. It took them 6 months to give me my money back, but I mean, it's just I get it. So I totally hear what you're saying.
Yeah.